Good evening and welcome. I'd like to call to order the Pennsylvania County Board of Supervisors business meeting on Tuesday, October the 17th, 2023 at 7 p.m. The board meeting room at 39 Bank Street, Southeast, Chatham, Virginia. Ms. McCluster, would you call the roll, please?
Yes, sir. Ms. Eames?
Present.
Mr. Ingram?
Present.
Mr. Scarce?
Here.
Mr. Warren?
Here.
Mr. Tucker?
Here.
Mr. Dudley?
Present.
Mr. Dalton?
Here. Moving to item 3. Would you all join me in a moment of silence, and then we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. Moving to item 5. Are there any items to be added to the agenda? If not hearing any, we'll move to item 6. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Dudley, second by Mr. Tucker. Any discussion on the motion? If not, we're ready to vote. Moving to item 7, the consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Ingram. Got a
Second.
Second by Mr. Dudley. Any discussion on the motion? If none, we're ready to vote. Motion carries 7 yes and 0 no. Moving to item 8, our presentations. A, we have a presentation Ms. Eames is going to present tonight. We'll move down to the front, please.
Tonight, we're doing a certificate of recognition. These two young ladies, would you like to tell who you are?
Eva, Madison,
These are two of the lady students in the music group. I think you've had a total of 5.
this year we have 5 students.
5 students. Okay. In August of 22, Raleigh Joe Bivens, which this is Ms. Bivens right here, created a music scholarship in memory of Blake Bivens' wife. This is Blake to my left, Emily Marie Bivens. Emily believed in the power of music, and she had a true gift of music talent that she wanted to share with the future generations. Her immense passion for music is why this foundation and scholarship exists. Donations to the Emily Marie Bivens Memorial Foundation are used to completely fund a 1-year scholarship for piano lessons for children who would otherwise never have the chance. Not only does the scholarship completely cover the expenses for a one-on-one instructor, scholarships recipients will also receive their own keyboard to continue to learn and grow at home for years to come. They currently have 2 instructors and 5 students in the program. Children in the city of Danville, along with surrounding counties and the Dan River District, are eligible to apply. The Pittsylvania County Board of Supervisors would like to recognize Riley Joe Bivens for the creation of this scholarship in honor of Emily Marie Bivens.
Sure. Well, thank you all so much for having us here tonight. Yeah, this was a labor of love by me, Blake, and also Emily's sister, Lindsay, who couldn't be here tonight. But yeah, we're just so grateful and blessed that the foundation has grown and blossomed the way it has over the past 2 years. We started last year with 1 student. This year we have 5, and we're on track to do 10 students next year. One of the wonderful things about our program I specifically love is all of our scholarship recipients don't just receive insured funding for their first year of instruction, but actually up until the age of 18. So once you're in our program, we've got you until you graduate high school. We really believe in the power and benefits of a musical education for the youth in Danville, and we never want financial constraints or anything of the like to be a reason that students don't have this opportunity. So yeah, we're just so blessed. Thank y'all for having us. Blake, do you want to say anything?
Again, I'd also like to thank you all for recognizing us, and I thought it was pretty fitting that Riley Jo got a lot of the credit tonight, because she truly does a lot of the work behind the scenes. And you know, we wouldn't really be able to do this foundation and honor Emily if it wasn't for her. And then you know, like Riley Jo said, that we're looking to sponsor hopefully 10 kids next year. And as long as we have all of your help, we'll continue to push on and help even more. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Don't run off. As finance chairman for the Board of Supervisors, we'd like to participate in your program. So as a board, we're going to donate $1,000 to your organization and your process. I just ask if you'll give Mr. Hunt how we need to make the check out and the mailing address and all, because this is coming from us. It's not coming from tax dollars. We're actually going to do this as a board. So we thank you very much.
Moving to item 9, hearing of the citizens. Each person addressing the board under hearing of the citizens shall be a resident or landowner of the county, or the registered agent of such resident or landowner. Each person shall step up, give his or her name in an audible tone, the district in an audible tone of voice for the record, and unless further time is granted by the chairman, shall limit his or her address to 3 minutes. No person shall be permitted to address the board more than once. During the hearing of the citizens, all remarks shall be addressed to the board as a body and not to any individual member. Thereof, hearing of all the citizens shall last for a maximum of 45 minutes. Any individual that signed up to speak during said session who does not get the opportunity to do so because of the afforded mentioned time limit shall be given speaking priority at the next board meeting. Absent chairman approval, no person shall be able to speak who has not signed up. I want to make a comment on the time. We try to keep it to 3 minutes, and I understand sometimes you need a few more seconds to finish up. So we have added another little component to kind of help with that time. Ms. Kazee over here is going to be running that, and it will give you your 3 minutes. Everybody gets 3 minutes. It tells you at 2 minutes and 30 seconds that you have 30 more seconds to kind of wind down. So hopefully this will help everybody to kind of stay within that guidelines of the 3 minutes. And we want to be fair to everybody. I want everybody to get 3 minutes. But I just ask you to be respectful of the next person. And hopefully this will help me and the people speaking too. All right, thank you. Do we have anybody signed up, Ms. McCluster?
Yes, sir. Vanessa Scares.
Good evening, Ms. Skews.
All right,
Good evening.
Good evening, Ms. Scares. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
My name is Vanessa Scares, and I live in the Westover District. There are so many things that need to be said tonight with only 3 weeks remaining until Election Day. To the citizens that choose not to get involved, I understand. I sat at home and allowed my husband to take care of all political things except for me voting until about a year ago. In one short year, I have learned so much. Lesson number 1, we can no longer rely on media to provide citizens information that they need to make informed decisions. As an example, it was recently reported that Whittle out-fundraised Scarce by $4 to 1. However, the report failed to mention that 8 out of every $10 raised by Whittle came from him or his family. I guess Oliver Anthony's new hit song should be Rich Men South of Richmond. Scarce may not have purchased as many signs as Whittle, but you know, Scarce has an 8-year record of voting with the people. That would get him my vote, even if he was not my brother-in-law. Lesson number 2, we have literally been fighting to preserve our constitutional rights here at home. During the past year, our right to bear arms and our right of free speech have both been challenged and are still being challenged. Some have said that our county has become a laughingstock in Virginia. Well, I say, let's change that by getting rid of the board member that does not even know what freedom of speech means. Together, we can return Pittsylvania County to its constitutional conservative roots. Some politicians should only serve 1 term. Lesson number 3, the manipulation is sickening, truly sickening. We do not need representatives on this board that were talked into running because someone else wants to get rid of another board member. We are already experiencing the pain of unprecedented turnover on the board. The board needs stability, and several of the current members need to be re-elected for that very reason. Of course, if you are only focused on your own struggle for power, this doesn't make sense to you. We need to elect people with skills of negotiation and communication, which, by the way, includes speaking
30
and
seconds remaining.
listening. We need to get rid of people that try intimidation and manipulation to get their way through their term. Remember, actions do speak louder than words. Let me end by saying, A, elections do have consequences. B, good ideas that just remain good ideas will never change the culture. You need to speak up and get
3
involved,
minutes is
citizens.
complete.
C, apathy and discouragement will not change anything, but prayer and voting will. Let's get out and vote for positive change and stability for our Pittsylvania County. And always pray for wisdom before casting your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you,
Gates.
Ms. Skeers.
Do we have anybody else signed up, Ms.
Yes,
McClure?
sir. Christy? I'm not going to say your last name because I don't want to ruin it.
Welcome.
Good evening. My name is Christy Van Arisdale. I reside in the Callens-Gretna District. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak here tonight. First, I want to say I'm sorry to my dad, but enough is enough. I've wanted to come here many times. He's asked me not to. I'm familiar with a few of you. One of you may call me their misinformed friend, which brings me here tonight. I'm here to inform any citizens, anyone who is listening. My dad, Vic Ingram, is not the drama on this board. His name, yes, as we have one particular current board member, along with his brother, being the voice and face for him, who is completely beyond obsessed with destroying Vic Ingram. I personally believe that Vic intimidates these individuals with his integrity. These people stop at nothing, no boundaries or limitations of how nasty and evil you truly are. You know what you are saying is not true, but yet you continue. I've had family members who have been under attacks, including one of my siblings and other family members whose property has been vandalized. Just look at the Facebook post. It's beyond obsession. Every day, Vic Ingram. These men are character assassins, which is the slandering of a person, usually with the intention of destroying public confidence in that person. When a toxic person can no longer control you, they will try to control how others see you. Day after day, these people continue to lie about Vic Ingram, putting false ideas into our community. He has worked 34 years in service in Pittsylvania County, been a volunteer since a teenager, his entire life as a serviceman. A question to ask yourself, or anyone that may be listening or even questioning these allegations: how would he work this long in our county if he was any of these things that these people are saying? Not to mention, as a board member, you are just that, a member that sits on a board. He is one of 7 members who vote and make these changes. He is not doing any changes as an individual, so to constantly blame him for something the board voted on is ridiculous. Do your own research, people. Quit relying on the Westover supervisors and misinformation. If Vic Ingram is guilty of anything, it's having a huge heart, trusting heart, full of integrity, stands up for what he believes in, and is a man of his word. Therefore, he is guilty of trusting the wrong people, believing that there is good in some people that are just pure evil. All I can say is if defending yourself against these lies makes him drama, then I guess it is. But shame on any of you who have let these men influence you or change your opinions of him. Shame on you. There is not one person on this board who would let anyone come here and personally attack them like he has the majority of the year. If all the people he has helped over his years of 34 years of service in this county could be here today, we would have to be outside or a bigger venue, because this building would not hold them all. As far as my dad's opponent, I recommend not voting for anyone who is closely associated with Mr. Scarce, as he clearly is. We need a board member to work together as professionals do, not having an insubordinate like Mr. Scarce. We need representation for our county in a respectful, professional manner. Stop letting this bully, Ron Scarce, embarrass Pittsylvania County. Vote Vic Ingram and Murray Whittle.
You need to wind it down.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving to item, I'm sorry, Ms. McCluster, someone else signed up?
That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Moving to item 10, public hearings, rezoning public hearings. Pursuant to Article 5, Division 6 of the Pennsylvania County Zoning Ordinance, the Board of Supervisors have been empowered to hear and decide specific zoning issues and zoning map changes in support of said ordinance. In accomplishing this important task, the board is responsible for promoting the health, safety, and general public welfare of the citizens of Pennsylvania County. The board must ensure that all its decisions, regulations be directed to these goals and that each be consistent with the environment, the comprehensive plan in the best interest of Pennsylvania County, its citizens, and its posterity. I'll move into item 10A, Ms. Ragsdale, in case R23-025.
Case R-23-025, Michael and Jane Kendrick have petitioned to rezone 3 parcels totaling 27.92 acres located on State Road 847, Sam Haley Road, and State Road 848, Joe Carter Road, in the Tunstall Election District from R1 Residential Suburban Subdivision District to A1 Agricultural District to allow for agricultural uses. On September 5th, 2023, the Planning Commission recommended by a 7-0 vote with no opposition that the petitioner's request be granted. Once the property is rezoned to A1, all uses listed under Section 35-178 are permitted. Staff summaries enclosed in the board packet. Mr. Chairman, Jane Kendrick is here to represent the petition.
All right, thank you. At 7:21, I open the public hearing. Do we have anybody signed up, Ms. McCluskey?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you have anything to add, Ms. Kendrick? Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank y'all.
At 7:21, I close the public hearing. Mr. Ingram, the pleasure is yours.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. In case R23-025, I make the motion approving the rezoning of 27.92 acres from R1 Residential Suburban Subdivision District to A1 Agricultural District to allow the property to be used for agricultural purposes.
Second motion.
Good. Motion by Mr. Ingram, second by Mr. Tucker. Any more discussion on the motion? If not, we're ready to vote. Motion carries, 7 yes, 0 no. Your property is being rezoned. Moving to 10B, other public hearings. Each person addressing the board under public hearing shall step up, give his or her name, district, and his or her place of residence for a non-county citizen in an altered tone of voice for the record, and unless further time is granted by the chairman, shall be limited his or her address to 3 minutes. Speakers for a group shall be limited to 10 minutes. Speakers shall conclude their remarks at that time unless the consent of the board affirmatively gives the speaker allotted time. Absent chairman approval, no person shall be able to speak who is not signed up. All right, public hearing, Southside Soccer Club. Ms. McCluskey.
Yes, sir. So Southside Soccer Club filed an application for a potential tax exemption on their real estate. The application is included in your board packet, and if this exemption is approved, the county's annual loss of the tax revenue would be $1,242.48. And this is left up to the board.
All right. Thank you,
That's
Ms.
going to be
McCluskey.
Bob's district.
Okay. At 7:23, I open the public hearing. Has anybody signed up for this?
I do have Mark Shields.
Mark Shields.
And Bill Webking, but I think they're here to represent this application. So we'll let them speak.
Okay, go ahead,
I'm not
Mr.
gonna
Shields.
put the timer
Welcome, sir.
Good to see you,
Chairman
Ms. Mark.
Dalton, members of the board, I appreciate y'all letting us come before you tonight. I am Mark Shields, Chatham, Blairs area. Southside Soccer is also in the Chatham, Blairs area. Mostly here tonight to thank y'all. Back earlier this year, the 9 acres surrounding the old Blairs Middle School, which is now Southside Loss, you guys deeded over to us. That is going to help us tremendously from the area of grants. Bill Webking is here tonight. He is also on the board of directors. He does a lot of grant writing for us and does a very good job. Owning your own land just makes a huge difference when you go to apply for these grants. I'd like for you to know a little bit about what we serve. 500 to 600 from 2.5 to 17-year-old kids and youth in the community, 2 seasons a year, in the spring and in the fall. 60 to 80 volunteers help and coordinate the efforts of that with anywhere from 38 to 44 teams. So if you come by anytime mid-March to mid-May and again 1st of September to the 1st of November, you'll see a lot going on around there. But we really appreciate the efforts this board has made over the years. I'd like to thank my representative, Bob Warren. I've never called him over these 8 years when he was not willing to help in any manner that he could. I'd also like to thank Mr. Ingram, who has supported the last 8 seasons Southside Soccer Club in various ways. So as a board, we couldn't ask for anything better. We would ask for you this $1,200+ we would like to keep just to further go into enhance the program and to fund more things for the kids. I'm proud to say no member has ever taken one dime as far as any compensation. We're a true 501(c), and we're very proud of that. This year is our 20th year, and we're very proud of that, and we'll be having a big celebration the spring of 2024. So I'd like to ask you for your consideration in this tax-exempt application. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you, Mark.
Shields.
Appreciate it, sir.
Anyone else signed up?
Would Mr. Webking like to speak?
Anybody else like to speak towards this? Welcome, sir.
Thank you. I am one of the board of director members at Southside Soccer. Last several years, they've asked me to do grants. I've gone after grants, and I've helped improve the facilities over at the Blair's Fields, that I like to call. So if you haven't been over there, we now have a shed, a brand new shed. We've redone with grant and fundraising, we've redone the former press box. That's all done. We still have some things to do on the inside, some growth, but it's been very exciting. The old football field at the Blair's Middle School is the next project. I have to step up my game, and to do that, I'm going to need your help. So at some point, I might come to one or all of you. I know I'll be going to this guy at some point and asking for a letter of support so I can put that in my grant packet and take it to get the grant. So what am I going after? I'm going to go after, the board has directed me to go after lights. So we're going to go after lights first, and then we're going to go after the field. The lights, tentatively, is about $200,000 or about $50,000 a pole. I think this board probably has some knowledge of what it costs. I think or somebody, maybe it was the school board, approved lights at the schools. So it's a big ticket item. Beyond that, my board has big dreams that they're pushing on me. And they want to have a new field. So that field has been played on for 70 plus years. It undulates, it goes up and down. It's not good for ankles. So that's going to be about another $400,000. So if I can get the lights, then I'm going to go after the field. But the lights are a big jump. So just fair warning, I might come knocking on your door at some point. And I want to say once again, on behalf of Mark and the board, thank you very much for what you've done for Southside Soccer. You really opened some doors for us, and we very much appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else that we need to
That's all,
speak
Mr. Chairman.
All right, at 7:28, I'll close the public hearing, and the pleasure is going to be Mr. Warren's.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I make a motion approving the revisions to PCC 6-6.3, authorizing Southside Soccer tax exemption as attached and presented.
Second.
Second.
All right. Got a motion by Mr. Warren, second by Mr. Dudley. Any more discussion on the motion?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
I'd just like to encourage future boards to continue to support this program. They reach, as you heard, 500 to 600 of our youth each year. And in particular, I know 2 of the gentlemen are here that are running for the Chatham Blair's seat. But I hope whoever wins that will embrace Southside Soccer and continue to support it, because it does a tremendous job for our youth, and will encourage future boards to continue with their support, and that you all will look into the near future of going ahead and give authorization to the county administrator to endorse this program so that we can be timely on trying to get those grants.
Thank you, Mr. Warren. Any more comments?
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to thank Mark for all your hard work, and it's truly an honor to help support you guys. So keep doing what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ingram.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right. We ready to vote?
Yes,
More
sir.
discussion? All right, motion passes, 7 to yes and 0 no. Moving to item 11. Mr. Hunt, do we have any unfinished business?
No, sir.
Do we have any new business?
No, sir.
All right. Moving to 13, matters from our work session.
None.
Okay, none. Thank you, sir. Moving to 14, board members' reports. I'm going to start with Mr. Tucker.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I want to thank the public for coming out tonight and staying engaged in the political process. Tonight, I will be brief, but as you return home, as you go to bed tonight, remember Israel in prayer. Remember those Palestinians that are even caught by collateral damage and in the crossfires, because all of us bleed red. All of us are the Imago Dei, the breath of God. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tucker. Mr. Ingram?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, sir. As many of you are aware, this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and being a lifetime member of Danville, Pennsylvania Cancer, I still continue to try to spread the message that our resources are for every resident in the Danville, Pennsylvania County area that are suffering from cancer. And it's a shame that more people don't know about it, so please help spread the word. Likewise, Israel is on our heart, as well as world affairs, and we wonder why we squabble about some things that we do when we have such major worldwide situations going on. Very sad. Dear friends, Joe and Wanda Evans celebrated 50 years of matrimony the other day, so I wanted to give a shout out to them. This past Tuesday, I attended an ATDM summit at the Institute, and what they're doing out there is nothing short of phenomenal. This is a program that the Navy is involved in, and they're training young men and women in 5 different disciplines to help work on or weld or whatever the Navy's next generation submarines. And again, a lot of people just simply don't know what is out there. Today there was a housing summit at the Institute talking about the need for housing locally. And while it's not critical, it's an absolute need. And as it's already been said, 3 weeks from today, everybody gets to go vote their conscience, and I hope that you look at your candidate, look at what they've done, what they said, what they wore, how they act, how they treat other people, and vote accordingly. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Ingram. Mr. Scash?
This past Saturday, we had a fundraiser for Easton Coffer. He was a 2-year-old that has brain and spinal cancer, and it was a rainy day, and thankfully River Oak Church allowed us to use their facility and their gym especially. It was supposed to be an outside deal, and we ended up having to go into their gym to have the function. But I want to thank everyone that showed up. Right now, the count money raised is just under $18,000, with more money coming in. All that funding is going to go to the family to provide their living expenses as they go to St. Jude's with Easton for his care. But there's a few people, they don't normally like getting a pat on the back. They don't need a pat on the back. They do these things because it's the right thing to do. But Dr. Cheryl Hancock, she runs physical therapy, core physical therapy on Pawnee Forest. She kind of ramrodded this thing, and my wife helped out a lot with the donations, as well as Sherry Martin. And thank all those people. David Glass, I believe, provided the food and the cooking, and I think CRB Electric helped out a lot with their people. Their workers showed up for a lot of the fundraisers. So really appreciate all the hard work that all these people did, and it just opens your heart knowing that people are out there that are willing to open not only their wallets but provide all that time that they did. This was a couple of month episode for them as far as working to get this thing going, and I think it was a success, and If you can, the donations are still open. If you can find one of the flyers with the QR code, you can still donate. And again, thank everyone that showed up for the event. It was pretty good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Scare. Mr. Warren?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to be extremely short tonight for me. I want to thank all of our staff, the ones that are present tonight to put the meetings together, but also those that aren't here that work a little more behind the scenes, but they make it all happen, and that's truly why the county has enjoyed some of the success that we have over the last 8 years. I also want to ask that everyone will take time to think about the upcoming election, pray about it. Don't listen to individuals or little groups. Do your own research and do your own findings. And as someone that's leaving on December the 31st, the political arena in Pennsylvania County has become similar to the national arena. And I'm really sorry to see that happening. And I hope post this election, we will move forward and get rid of the vengeance and ugly politics that has raised its head in our county. We are better than this. We're all better than this. And my prayer is that the Lord will put his hand on this election and that the right folks will be elected, and that all of the citizens, regardless of which side you fall on right now, will realize that we're a lot better if we try to work together, and this county will be a lot better. So whoever wins, this is not an easy job that we set up here and do. I'll ask you to put aside your personal feelings and bury any animosity or whatever, and let's support who's elected, and let's really do what's good for Pennsylvania County. The past 2 elections have been an embarrassment to our county. So let's do better, folks. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Warren. Mr. Dudley?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for the good job that you did tonight.
Thank you, sir.
I thought it was such a blessing when Miss Nancy recognized, and they're starting this this fund to take something that was tragic and turn it into something just absolutely beautiful. I want to thank you two for being here this evening. The young girls, cute as they can be. We'll do all we can to support you, and thank you so much. I just, I wanted to sit there and cry, but I didn't. But at the same time, I'm really, really thrilled that sometimes Satan will have something bad and God will turn it into something good. So thank you too. Appreciate you for that. It has been mentioned. It's not just the world is in turmoil, and we need to pray for Israel. I know in I think it's Genesis 12:3. Those that bless Israel will be blessed, and those that curse will be cursed. And let's just pray for the innocent folks that are their blood shed. And I like what Mr. Tucker said. When it's all said and done, we all bleed the same color. So let's just lift Israel up, countries around the world. Let's just pray that this thing will not escalate anymore. I want to thank the staff for everything that they do to make our meetings go really smooth, and appreciate you all being here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dudley. Ms. Ings?
Yes, I want to echo that for all the staff that contribute to our meetings, getting us set up, keeping us on track. Also, I have, at Denver High School, they had another Bassmaster fishing tournament. I'd like to recognize Christian Blackstock, Dawson Gilbert. They took first place in the West Division qualifying, and they're qualified to go to the state tournament in the spring. And also fourth place, two other students, Weston Turner and J.C. Monk, took fourth place. And two students actually joined the Dan River team, were from Tunstall. They took in 10th place, Peyton Davis and Dawson Hare. I like to, anytime I hear about these young people accomplishment, we need to praise them because it helps others that are falling behind want to step up to the plate. And also, I talk about this too much, I'll get to crying. Riley, Joe, and Blake, the extraordinary people. A lot of you probably don't know they lost their home a couple of weeks ago. And still they're here today thriving and pushing for these young people. And I think we need to stand behind them and do everything that we can. They're excellent people.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ings. Well, looks like everybody stole all my thunder, but I'm just gonna say a big thank you to everyone. Everybody for coming out tonight. This great organization here that started. Thank y'all for being here. I want to thank all the staff, Mr. Terrell, Mr. Hunt, and I also want to pray for Israel. We need to pray for Pennsylvania County.
That's right.
And this board up here. We all need a good prayer.
Yep.
So with that, that's all I've got. Mr. Terrell, do you have any comments, sir?
Yes, sir. The tax assessment notices will go out October 25th. I remind folks that the values are rising due to the post-pandemic housing boom, inflation, and the current housing shortage that's occurring all across Virginia and the nation, not just here. I will work with the Board of Supervisors to adjust the tax rate down after review of the current and future needs of the community and organization. Secondly, the Emergency Operations Response Team, Mr. Key and I, are completing a series of tabletop exercises to handle any emergency situation, such as a hurricane, major ice storm, power outage, cyber attack, anything. We are prepared to confirm preparations to handle that. Tomorrow's meeting will include representatives of Virginia Department of Emergency Management who are aware of our exercises and are excited about it. At the next board meeting, I will also present strategic goals assessment report on the long-term projects on which we are working as we speak to improve the community. Sometimes we get caught up in the day-to-day, but the real difference will be made with the long-term strategic goals that we are targeting. I also will discuss proposed changes to the solid waste division for efficiency improvements and to position it for continued future long-term success. Finally, the 2024 retreat, planning is underway for a January retreat. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, Mr. Terrell. Mr. Hunt, you have any comments, sir?
Let's go home.
Sounds good.